Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Clay Township Board. It is Tuesday, October 17th. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Mary, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mary. We have no public comments tonight. We'll move on to approval of minutes from the September 19th regular board meeting. Do I have a motion? And a second.
I wasn't at the meeting.
I second. That's right. Mary was not at the meeting. All those in favor of approving minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, hearing none. Approval of minutes. Action items. Item A, adoption of the 2024 budget. Trustee Hensel?
Before you is a copy of our budget for 2024 with all the assessments and everything. I just need approval on it.
Let's have a motion and then discussion. Is there a motion for approval?
I so move.
Second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Nothing has changed since the public hearing?
No, sir.
Mary? Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion will carry. Action item B, adoption of 2024 salaries. Mr. Hensel?
This is proposed salaries for next year. Trustee and the deputy trustees are staying the same. And the board is staying the same. We increased the admin assistants and we increased the caseworkers.
I so move.
I second.
Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion will carry. Information items. First one is an update on township assistance. Mr. Hensel.
In your packet, you had a copy of what we've done so far year to date. So far, we've an assistance was $61,000. It comes out to about $6,700 per month we've given out. And the intakes average about 15 a month. Applications about 12, interviews 5, and approved 4.5 out of those 5 every month. As for rent, it's about $6,000 a month. So we're going through that money pretty quick with the rents and stuff where they're at. And the guys do a great job of investigating them. We're just not handing out rent checks to people or utility checks. They're doing a great job. And if we can get somebody else to help, like Salvation Army or somebody, we definitely refer other people. And then also you can see which who's got the most assistance on the apartments and stuff, landlords.
Mm-hmm.
Do you foresee any reason for additional appropriation towards the end of the year? Or do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because we only budgeted last year $65,000 for that, and we're right now at 61. And I know we've probably we're going to use about 2,000 this month. So with using the average of 67, it's going to be $80,000 this year on a on a public assistance. So we're going to probably have to reappropriate about 15,000.
I walked in to one of the stores today, and the person behind the counter looked at me. I know her. And she said that they just raised her rent $200. She didn't know how she can afford it. And I've heard other people say the same thing. So you may get some calls from people.
When would you have to do that? As early as November, sounds like.
We'll do it in December.
In December?
Yeah.
What fund would you potentially reappropriate funds from? To be determined?
No, well, it's to be determined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be determined, yeah.
Any other questions? All right, we'll move on to an update on IT. Mr. Hensel?
The IT construction is completely finished now. We've got their certificate of occupancy. They're now moving in. They're waiting on furniture, and they should be all in. And then, once they get in, we feel we will be hooked up to their network. We've had to order 4 new computers because of being hooked up to their network. And it's just going to be, I think it's going to be the best thing that's happened to the trustee's office in the form of the IT side of going that way.
And that's virtually complete?
Yeah, everything, we haven't gotten we just ordered the 4 computers, so probably when we get those all in, they will program them and switch us over, we hope, by then.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Next information item is an update on 210 Veterans Way.
210, we have a signed agreement that we knew about last month with MTS, and they're in there now, setting up and getting ready to go. So they're excited, and it seems like they got people coming in right now looking at the venue for weddings and parties and things like that, so they're hitting it pretty hard for marketing. Also in this, we have some other projects that need to be tidied up and finish up, and we're working on that. And I'm meeting with Dave Ford about every 2 or 3 weeks on all the projects. So with Matt being busy with his current venture, I've been trying to take the lead on this so I know where all the projects are and where we're at on them.
Can I comment on one of our projects?
Sure.
Not for discussion, but I know there will need to be some. But the pedestrian bridge that escalated more and more and more, the county has stepped up and is going to bridge any gap needed. So it'll be truly a collective community project, and I'm very happy about that.
That's awesome.
And I'm working on materials for Delaware, the park board, you all, and if the county's involved on that. So if you could send me any details or the contact on that.
Absolutely. I just got kind of it's going to happen email yesterday.
Great. And just while I'm talking here still, so those will include, we're working with Delaware Township with the trustees' consent. Their bond issue will close at the end of December, and then they have $1.388 million penciled in for the pedestrian bridge. And there will be there's going to be a donation agreement like we've seen before. We've got to do that. They're very interested in having an interlocal agreement instead. So it'll probably be both. We have to have the donation agreement because this project is right at the cap for controlled projects. And as you may recall from our other donation agreements, if someone makes a donation, it doesn't count toward the cost of the project for referendum and petition remonstrance purposes. So I just told Paul I put together a memorandum for everybody to kind of explain why we have to do that. There's some pushback on that from Debbie Driscoll. She just didn't know the story. So that may be in the offing before that. At your last meeting, we may have some approvals on those. Your last meeting of the year, it might be the first one at the start of next year too.
Thank you.
Just for the record, that is our township attorney, Mr. Brian Bosma. Want to make sure he gets credit for being here, as well as our township accountant, Angie Stino. Thank you, Angie, for being here. And of course, Deputy Trustee Debbie Spilbring. All right. And now we move on to financial questions from the board. Does anybody have any questions to ask Mr. Hensel?
I don't.
Board comments. Mary, do you have any comments?
Just glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. Mr. Snyder?
No.
I do want to say good luck to you in the election. 3 weeks from tomorrow, 3 weeks from today.
Today.
3 weeks from today. Matt, good luck to you. Announcements. Our next meeting will be on December 12th at 8 a.m. This is in lieu of our scheduled December meeting, which was on December 27th. But Paul mentioned that there were some transfers and some dollar action that we have to address before a certain date. So we will have our meeting on December 12th in this room at 8 a.m. May I have, Mr. Hensel, anything else?
No.
All right, may I have a motion for adjournment?
I so move.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:24. Thank you very much.